Hi, hello, good morning. This is Wency Flores of Wency Tips, a school head, a student parent, and a daughter of pedagogy. Today, I want to share with you the experience of being a practice teacher, a teacher, and a school head. When I was fourth year in Bicol University College of Education in Albay, it is in fourth year that we had our whole year in service training or practicum. There in Bicol University, our practice is that when we are going to teach, we're just given a subject matter, a subject and a subject matter. We are not given a reference. We are not oriented where we can get the lesson. We are taught the parts of the lesson, but we are not oriented whether we can get. We have library. In the time we are having internet. So it is about us. It is up to us where we can have or how we can write a lesson plan, how we can teach, what props are we going to use. So that's our practice. For a year, that's my practice. When I was assigned in Karamuan Central School, there is no big library there. There is no internet there yet. I don't know if there is a computer there. Maybe there is, but actually I was not using those things before. I only rely on books. But at the same time, we're just given a topic or a subject matter, but we are not given a book. But I was able to deliver a lesson. I was able to have a lesson plan. I was able to graduate. And I was able to become a teacher. I was a full-fledged teacher 2004 after 2 years of graduating from college last 2002. And you know what? Because of the practice that I rely on the subject matter, and of course, it is not in tuto that you are going to be taught that this is what you are going to do. When I became a teacher, actually, my practice is that because I was from Bicol University. So it is always a practice that if I was given a task, I'm going to do it even without so much directions because it is a topic that I'm going to deliver. And in the first grade, because I was assigned in the first grade, if they are going to tell me that this is the task, and the primarily task is to make the pupils read. And you know what? Even in the grade 1, I am just focused on reading. I forgot that there are a lot of skills to be taught, subjects to be taught, but because it is just the the practice I had in my practice teaching. So I make everything. I make reading a center of my teaching. I cook for my I cook for my pupils because I think if they are fed, they will be able to read. They are they are full, and they are not thinking of hunger, of being hungry. So I let them eat. So I cook in the morning, every morning, and also I made a lot of reading materials. And you know what? By the time my parent or my mother is my TIC, so there were at times that I didn't write a lesson plan. I wasn't able to have it daily. Those are the bloopers of being a teacher. And My even my door was not, there is no concrete door. I'm just using a curtain, and I remember Ma'am Susan said, "Oh, makatakot digdi sa room mo kasi baka mahilingan ka nila digdi." And they're not going to forget it because they are a child. Yes. It is because we're not really oriented. We're not really oriented, yes. But the first task of making a children read, you're doing you're doing it the best that you can do. You know, when I was a grade 1 teacher, I sleep very early na sa akin ang 10 because I sleep every day at 12 o'clock making instructional materials, reading materials. By the time we're just trained to know or to learn about marungko, and it is the center of my I make my own marungko guidebook, so that in that time I'm just going to look at them, and you know what, I lost the guide of marungko from the DepEd. I lost it, so I just make my own with the help of Ate Giselle. Thank you so much, Ate Giselle Liena Galang, for helping me. She was my illustrator by then. And I also lost it. But because of that, I learned how to make my own instruction lesson materials. Okay. So, that's it. I am just making my task as a reading teacher a task. And you know what? I woke up at 3 o'clock. Daily yan, to study again and to make materials again and to cook um and to cook food for the children every day of my grade 1 teaching life. Okay, so that's it. When I become a school head, in that particular task as a teacher, when I was evaluated in the first time, of course, Luz, Luz Valdez, sabi nga nila. Because I do not know how. But then, because of further evaluation, I learned how to. And when the time happened that I am well versed of the evaluation for teachers, I became a TIC. And so, by the time na perfect ko na yung pagiging sa teacher, perfect ko na bago na naman ako as a school head, as a TIC. So, Luz Valdez na naman. So, doon ako natuto sa mga nauna na. I never wait for someone to tell me what I'm going to do. I asked. I never had this pride. I asked to someone who is better. And when I came to there, because of mobile staff conferences, we went to another school, from one school to another school. So, I look up at their structure, yung mga TIC, I look up their structure, I look up to them. That is the time when we can have benchmarking. And we do not know actually word benchmarking by then. But it is because it is not pandemic before. But now that is because pandemic, there is no benchmarking anymore. And I am not the type of the person who are going to benchmark even if it's not allowed. I am not the type. I always follow what my bosses said, because if there is something happen, they will not back me up. They told me not to have that, and I'm going to do that. It is my fault. I am afraid that my co-workers from my school will be harmed or will be at risk. Actually, on my part, I never told anybody to work at Saturday or in weekend, even if it's so important. I am afraid to let them work with me. I am there, they were there, but I never told them that they come here because there is something to be finished. Because if we really want to finish something, we are going to make it on weekdays from Monday to Friday. If it's not finished, then it's not finished. It is still important for me, the welfare of my co-workers, and of course, it is a time for their family. I am afraid, even in joining weekend getaway, ba, going to resort or in a vacation or weekend na magbi-beach. I am afraid of that. Actually, I am a type of person na, of course, I am a fun-loving. Gusto ko ng mga adventures. But on the part of working, I don't want to be with them even in Sundays, and I am the school head, because I'm afraid that it is my responsibility and I'm still accountable. I am afraid that if there's something happen with them, it is me who are going to be accountable for. So even in that particular thing, I am afraid to, we're going out on Saturday or on weekends. I am afraid of that. But as a person and as a worker, we are never told to what we are going to do. We're just doing it because it is our job. We can use our internet, we can Google, we can look for other people if the leader do not know. We can always do and take charge of our responsibility. If it is our duty as a coach, even if someone are not, even if the leader is not telling you, this is what are you going to do, you know that if you are a coach, then you are going to train your pupils, your player. You're not going to wait for someone to tell you, because you know what to do, the job description. And you are not going to tell me, this is you're going to do, this is what you are going to do, this is what you are going to do, because you know that. You are professionals. We are professionals. Of course, we know what to do. This is your task, this is our task. We are going to do it. Even if we are not given so much directions. We're just given this, papi lang, and you are going to research for how you are going to do it. How are you going to make it? How are you going to accomplish it? It's not in toto. After all, we are not students. Actually, in this K-12, we are expecting even the senior high school or the junior high school to make research thesis. So if we are professionals, then we can do a lot more. We can do action research. We can do project proposals. We are not going to wait for them to teach us. Because in this particular season, in this particular pandemic time, we are given online. Siguro, pwede silang walang food, but there is an internet, there is a Wi-Fi connection. We're not given a reason not to learn by our own. We are not sufficient, but we can be by asking them. I remember when I review for a principal exam, to take the exam, I asked Ma'am Jenny, for all the teachers or for all the school heads I asked of the reviewer, this Ma'am Jenny Emerenciana is the only one who gave me a reviewer. And I'm very thankful. Until now, I still remember the kindness. And by the time, of course, my ATM is with my teacher. I asked Ma'am Berha, Lorna Berha. She lent me 3,000. Naday ko pa na full pay. Nag-2 gives pa ako. Thank you so much, Ma'am Lorna Berha. A principal from Karamuan. Thank you so much. That is 2014 siguro or 13. Thank you so much po lahat ng mga tao na napagtanungan ko na nagbigay talaga. Some people I asked them, oh, just trade. So I read the files from my former TIC, my mother. So I studied my files. I take charge. I take charge of reviewing, because when we are school heads, when we are teachers, there is no one to tell you that you are going to review, this is what you are going to do, this is what you... No, you have to do it on your own. You have to look for the